Hola tripulantes, yo soy Ana Cristina Olvera, estamos en Personas Espaciales de la Fundación Espacial de Katya Echazarreta y estamos aquí en el detrás de cámaras platicando en corto con las personas espaciales. Y ahora tengo aquí a Antonio Peronace, quien es el director ejecutivo de la Fundación Space for Humanity. Así es, los que mandaron a Katya al espacio, él es el mero mero. Entonces vamos a ver qué nos puede decir. Antonio, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
So I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk to you and for you to explain to people what is Space for Humanity.
Sure. Well, Space for Humanity, we're an international, charitable, non-governmental organization. We're a nonprofit. And what we do is all privately funded. We run a citizen astronaut program. Our mission is to democratize access to space, outer space, for all the world's people. And so through our program, we take in thousands of applications and we go through them. We look at every one and then we interview a lot of people and we pick one individual and we send them to space. And then when they come back, the real work begins. We work with them to become ambassadors and to try and inspire others to go to space as well.
I'm sure everyone is wanting to know, what are you looking for in these people?
Yeah, I get that question. I meet people and they're always like, oh, so can I go to space? And the answer is yes, you can go to space.
But Am I going to send you? No.
But what we're looking for specifically is, more than, a particular kind of personality or person. We're looking for someone who will take this gift and make the most impact with it. Like you will then go and help change the world. That is the real work here. It's, as you know, as you've heard, it is a life-changing experience to go to space. Once you get back, we want to make sure that you take that opportunity to inspire others, to help others dream, to maybe encourage a space industry to happen in your country or work with elected officials. A lot of the work that we see happening now here in Mexico.
So how did you achieve this? I mean, how was the process? Because it took a long time from the idea to actually sending Katya, who was the first one, right?
Yeah, Katya was our citizen astronaut #1. And, this is honestly something you couldn't do 10 years ago, right? The industry wasn't ready. We didn't have private astronauts going up to space as much. And what happened was our founder, Dylan Taylor, he is also the founder and CEO of Voyager Space. He went up on a rocket. It was him and some others. I know Michael Strahan, the football player, was on that with him. And when he got up there, like so many others, it changed his life when he saw the Earth. And he said to himself, I am lucky enough that I can afford to go up. But everyone needs to be able to experience this. This reminds us that we're all connected together. So when he came back, he founded our organization and started helping to fundraise and grow the organization, where finally we get to live our mission. And Katya, as you mentioned, was #1. She was the first person who applied, and we saw her, we got her application, and we said, she is amazing, she's a rock star. She's the kind of person who, if given this opportunity, can help change the world. And that's it. It happened so quickly, you almost can't believe it. You say to somebody, you're going to space, you can't believe the words actually come out of someone's mouth, and then before you know it, they're training, they have the flight suit on, and they're off to space, and the rest is history.
So for the people that are not following that close, how many other citizen astronauts?
Sure. We have supported several people. Katya was the first citizen astronaut fully paid for by us. Our second was Sarah. Sarah was the first Egyptian to go to space, the first Arab woman, and the first woman from the African continent. She went soon after Katya. Then we worked with Richard Branson and Virgin Galactic, and so both Katya and Sarah, I should say, went up on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. Then on Virgin, we sent up Keisha and her daughter. They are the first mother-daughter duo to go to space, and the first from Antigua. And then most recently, we helped support a very special mission for Ed Dwight, who went up to space just in May. And now he has become, I don't know if you know the Ed Dwight story, but it's a very powerful one. I encourage your viewers to look it up. But he was supposed to go up in the 60s, very historic individual. There's a documentary about him called Space Race. He was supposed to be the first black astronaut in the 60s. He never got to go up because of racism. But then in May, at the young age of 90, he became the oldest person to go to space, in part thanks to our support. And we're still, we're going to open applications again soon and look for our next citizen astronaut very soon.
So what have you learned in this process?
What I've learned is that it's exciting, it's amazing to change one person's life, but the potential we have now to change so many other lives, young people who maybe never thought that they had permission to dream about either working in something involved with space or even going to space, working with governments and local elected officials to help clear that pathway. And even now, expanding beyond human space flight. We don't have to just send a human being up to inspire others. We're looking at how do we create STEM programs, right? The work Katya has done is such an amazing example of what we can do and replicate in other countries. And also, how can we start having research fly on missions too? How can we start to create this enthusiasm around, maybe it's not for everybody to go to space, but who knows, maybe you can help build a satellite that goes to space or be part of, maybe rethink your career choices and say, I want to do that. I want to become an engineer. I want to become a physicist or a mathematician. What I've learned at the end of it all is there is so much opportunity in space. The economy has been growing so much, the space economy, the industry, and the challenges there are more than any one country, any one people can solve. We need all the world involved. So that's really the thing I've learned is there's so much opportunity. We are the space generation now. So if you're interested in getting involved, you don't have to just apply to go to space with us. There's so many ways you can now start to move in a path where you can end up working in space.
How far along are we in the project and what are the next steps?
For Space for Humanity?
Yeah,
so right now we have another individual who we're helping support. Her name's Amanda Wen. She's great. She's going to go up sometime next year. But we've gotten in a lot of applications from our last round. We're narrowing it down and deciding on who the next citizen astronaut is. So I'd say stay tuned, follow us on social media. I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if in the next month or two we announce somebody. So if you applied, get excited, you never know, it could be you. But then once we announce that person, we're gonna open up applications again. We want to make this something that we are consistently offering. But yeah, stay tuned because it's not just about launches to space. We also have, starting in hopefully 2026, there's going to be these high altitude balloons that can take people up. So you can go and be on the edge of space. And even a zero-G flight. I don't know if you've ever been on a zero-G flight, but it's like the plane that goes up and down and you feel zero-G. We're going to start offering those opportunities too. So for us, we want to try and start sharing this experience with as many people as possible. So like I said, follow along, start paying attention, and you never know. You can go on one of these rides or end up in space. You never know. But also just go to spaceforhumanity.org, spaceforhumanity.org, and you can learn more about Katya's journey, Sarah's journey, the work we do, and that is also where you can sign up for our mailing list and learn when we announce a citizen astronaut, how to apply, all that. So yeah, you can find more online.
Specific message would you give to the Mexican Jews?
No, I'm so excited because now is the time. The next 10 to 20 years are the most exciting time to be alive. The innovation things that are happening today, especially in space, was science fiction 10 years ago. Like people were getting laughed out of rooms when they suggested what we could do today is going to happen. And now that means that for the next 10 to 20 years of innovation, it's where we truly as a species get to decide, are we going to be a spacefaring species? Are we going to actually make it to Mars, become an interplanetary species? And the young people who are alive today, there's a young person alive today who's going to step foot on Mars. There's also young people today who are going to design those rockets, those capsules, those suits, those habitable capsules that have to be on the lunar surface to Mars. There is nothing but opportunity. So if you're a young person, and you just, I don't know, you've seen some movies, maybe you thought space was interesting, really give it a look. It could be your career and you don't know. You could help change the course of human history. And it's gonna happen very soon.
Thank you very much, Antonio. I hope you enjoy your time here in Mexico.
Oh, absolutely, it's wonderful. Thank you for being a science communicator and doing what you're doing.
Thank you.